like most people, I've gambled all my life. I think I started out when I was about 10 or 11 playing penny poker, and played throughout my years in the military, but I was still a novice, still an amateur. I don't think until the mid-70s I started taking poker more serious and found myself to be a contender with the so-called professionals. I never quite bought into that until I reached the point that I could beat them.
So who do you think is the strongest stud player in the game that you've seen in the past 10 years or so?
Probably the best stud player I know just passed away. That was Chip Reese.
Yeah. Chip played in the game?
Yeah. He used to play in our game all the time. Although Doyle Brunson is a Hold'em player, Doyle will be on my top 10 list of one of the best poker players around.
Definitely.
But the guys in my game at the casino, they're not slouches, you know.
Oh, no.
David Oppenheimer, Barry Greenstein, John Hennigan, Ted Forrest, Danny Robinson, Phil Ivey. You know, I mean, these guys are all good.
I really believe you got the greatest group of stud players. And I don't put myself in class with the other players. I don't play the game. So I'd like to say I played all of them good, but I hardly have ever played them. And stud players, these guys are all great players. Larry. People think, well, Larry must be the, you know, he's not. He's become a good player. He's won 15 times in a row.
Could you rate who the strongest player is, in your opinion?
In the game that we are playing right now today? Or
Sure, yeah.
Well, I have a little bit of a biased opinion, but if I exclude myself from the ratings, I would say John Hennigan.
So, who's the most aggressive player in this game?
The most aggressive player, in my opinion, would be Phil Ivey.
And what about the most passive?
The most passive player at the table, it's a toss-up between Ted Forrest and Larry Flynt.
Well, how did you select the players who played in your game? Was it open to anybody who had the money?
Well, we were paying such a high limit, that's about right, because after all, you know, forget the 4,000 and 8,000 we're playing now. Just consider it's 2,000 and 4,000, where you can still lose $100,000, $200,000 in a session. You know, how many people really can afford to play that? So that weeds out most of the people that will be interested in playing in the game.
So why so high? What made you decide to play so high?
Well, you know, I can never play a slot machine, or I can never play $10 blackjack, you know, any more than I could.
You need the rush.
Sit down in a small limit poker game. You know, you got to have that rush. You know, you gotta be playing for something that's important. And another reason that I think gave me an edge on other people in the game, that I'm fortunate to have money. So if I lose $200,000 or $300,000 a night, it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't lose any sleep about it. It's not the grocery money. It's not the end of the world. But with a lot of those guys, they come there with their case money.
Do they really?
And it changes their play. They may be good, solid poker players, but if you're sitting there with a lot of money, you can intimidate them.
Absolutely.
And you're not intimidating them because they're weak psychologically. You're intimidating them because they're trying to hang on to their bankroll.
They're out of their comfort range.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't have put it better.
So was the game always strictly stud, or are there any other games you play, or you're just the stud man?
No, stud's my favorite game. And you know something? I've talked to all the big hitters, like Bunsen and Chip Reese and Phil Ivey and those guys, Ted Forrest, all of those guys. Now those guys are top hold'em players.
Definitely.
But if you ask them, what's your favorite game, they'll always say stud.
But what is it about stud that everyone loves?
Well, because stud requires skill, you know. I mean, when you're playing hold'em, when the flop comes, that's pretty much the game.
Majority of the hand.
Yeah. And when you're playing studs, you gotta be able to figure in your head, make a calculation of what the odds are of catching the cards that you need. You know, what you make a draw for, what you don't. At what point does the hand or the pot become so big that maybe you're forced to call it even though you might not have a winning hand. Stud is just a whole new animal because there's so many do's and don'ts and stud, you know, the kind of pairs you play.
You got that?
How long you play them for. And hold them. If any decision's going to be made, it's going to be made before the flop.
That's true.
You know? And after the flop, they just come pretty much mechanical.
Nice call. Ace. You claimed you got your bluff in earlier?
Can't blame me for trying.
No, that was an excellent try.
Perfect.
I almost pulled it off.
180 is pretty good.
Well, tell me a little bit about the Hustler Casino. It opened in 2000, right?
Yeah.
What made you decide to open a casino?
Well, I always wanted a casino because I spent a lot of my time in them, and I felt it would be nice to have a place where I could play with my friends.
Get the game out of your house.
And where, get it out of my house, and where I could make money at the same time. The Hustler Casino surpassed my wildest dreams, you know, because it's phenomenally successful. I was hoping when I opened up, I made a couple million a year, I'd be happy.
It's been well
It's
received.
making about $20 million a year now.
So definitely a good decision.
So,
Great. Well,
one of my better ones.
thank you very much for your time today, Larry. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.